Hi everyone, my name's Leanne from Cake and Eat at 3, and my family and I are full-time travellers, both overseas and in Australia. And we have a 10-year-old, Miss B, who we homeschool or world school on our travels. Now, when we first left full-time last year, we were over-planned, over-organised, and took what we would only, which we're going to show you, only say double to triple the amount that we actually would use, could use, or needed while we were on the road. So I just wanted to have a chat with you today to show you what we see as essential items, what is a bonus, and show you maybe some of the tools that we use. Okay, so believe it or not, this is everything we took. On top of this, we spent probably 2 years before we left building a digital library, which is documentaries, worksheets, student resources, you name it, we had it ready to go. I then filed those into subject headings. A lot of those resources, or in particular the links to internet, are actually on our blog under educational resources, which I'll show you a bit later. So this is everything we took. This is for one child and being the age that Miss B was at when we left, Roald Dahl was sort of perfect for that age group. It's always a good read anyway. Last year we also threw in Charlotte's Web, which was also really good. And edhelper.com actually offers, which are one of the resources on our blog, they actually offer a fantastic range of comprehension worksheets that go along with all of the book lists that we are all familiar with. So that's some very handy resources there that I use as a backup to our workbooks and everything we use. So this is everything we took. Now, most of you will keep a journal or ask your kids to keep some sort of diary, particularly those who are doing a 3-month lap or a 6-month lap. Generally the schools are pretty happy that that's all they do during that time, because you will genuinely be very surprised what your child will learn on the road. They're socialising with different cultures, they're socialising with different age groups, learning to communicate and try out so many different things that they're going to be picking up new skills. Don't worry too much if it's only a 3 or 6 month trip. You will be fine. So pretty much to cut a long story short, we would do away with this box. Yes, we were full-time, so I wanted to be absolutely prepared for anything. Well, when you're traveling, you learn as you go. You will find you will visit sites, you'll visit cities, you'll do walks, and the very first thing you will do is Google, is there any historical significance? Is there any explorers that we can discuss about? How long is this track? What weather temperatures are we going to have? And all of these things you can discuss with your child that don't involve a workbook, and don't involve having any of these resources other than your Wi-Fi. So although Wi-Fi can be hard to come by, don't forget Travelling Australia, all your major shopping centres or libraries normally offer Wi-Fi. So really learn to utilise those, because you'll be really surprised just how much Wi-Fi you use, how much of your data you're using. So anyway, geography is a big one for us because we travel overseas, and in Australia it was a given that we were going to be taking an atlas with us. As to which atlas, as to year level, I pretty much think that that's irrelevant. Have the important things in there. They'll steer you towards areas that you may want to explore further with your child. You may be surprised what interests them, and therefore it's much better to stick to a topic that they like. So we definitely took our atlas with us. The probably most important thing for me, particularly overseas as well, I bought the homeschooling diary, which is from alwayslearning.com. Now this is invaluable to me. It basically puts out a weekly spread. You can say when the week is. So we started schooling on the 2nd week of the new year. So it's not school holidays for us, it's not Christmas holidays. We pretty much call every day as a learning day, and if we stay consistent with our learning, doing it every day for the time period that we allocate, then we find that when we do have a travel day or just a day having fun, exploring a city, going to a theme park, very rare, but you know what I'm saying, then you don't have to worry about missed time on the workbooks. So then I'll actually just make a notation of the date down the side, anything extra that we went to, so i.e. We went to Albany Whaling Centre yesterday. I wrote what we discussed, just so that when I'm actually got some downtime, I can actually look up some additional information on those things that we discussed, and basically just go back and make sure that whatever learning she had during that free time and fun at that day, we can then concentrate back on and really make sure it's stuck. So just write them down per subject, what we did if we're doing unit work. So this particular box here, which will be staying, this comes with us in the car or in the van. As you know, those who follow Cake and Eat at 3 on Facebook, we do both motorhome and a Hilux trailer with a rooftop tent, just so we can get to out of the way places. We also then have a camper van in Europe, which this information here and these workbooks here will come with us, and pretty much that's what we'll use to stay in line with the Australian curriculum. So because we're from Australia, even though we spend so much time outside of Australia as well, we find that it's much better for our child to stay within the lines of the Australian curriculum. So if in fact we stop somewhere, we want to do some work, and she can attend a traditional school, she's still up to date with the principles and the topics and the curriculum that they should know. So these are the workbooks we take. Most of my workbooks this year are from RIC publications, which you can get online from their website. Just a handy hint, if you're buying the maths books, they don't come with answers in them. So you can go onto their website, go to the actual math book section, and there's a downloads answers sheet for each of the different levels. So nice and easy. We have a spelling workbook because Miss B is very good at spelling. We want to keep that up. So we've got that. They basically just step through some new spelling words each week. Some activities and a fun thing. I can give her a test where she's up to, and just make sure that she's learning new words, then able to, in her story writing. She got published in an online magazine last year, which never would have happened if we weren't world schooling and meeting new people and understanding that these resources are out there for kids. So spelling and writing are important to her, and therefore we also make sure we do our grammar conventions. And we also have an online subscription to Study Ladder. Now, it's Australian curriculum based. It covers the key areas. And whenever we are in an area connected to Wi-Fi, visiting friends, visiting family, anyone that has Wi-Fi, we will hook up through our laptops or her educational tablet and basically run through some normally comprehension-based work, science, all the ones that are a little bit more tricky to do when you're constantly on the move, and make sure that that work's being done too. And it actually stores what we've learnt in that program, so we actually know where we might have missed something to go back over. But generally, this is it. Pencil case. I don't know if those of you who like to travel in planes a lot, we keep all our zip bags that we get on the airplanes. They come in handy for everything, storing electronics, storing cords and cables. So pretty much we try and reuse as much as we can. So this one goes in the car. All you need in the car: sharpener, pencil, rubber, ruler, anything that she will need, and a whiteboard marker, which brings me to my next point. A4 whiteboard is a must. The amount of working out, the amount of going back over problems that have been in the maths book to make sure that they've actually got the principles behind it. These are fantastic. Also, let them have a free bit of doodle time without having to worry about having stacks of paper, which I did bring with me, but on the whole, we do get by with paper that you'll come across in your travels. Everything gets reused. Turn it over, draw a picture, write notes, write a story. As I said, Brianne loves writing, so we've normally always got paper on us. You don't need bucket loads of it. You will come across it. This is a must, and a good cleaner for it too. So whiteboard marker goes in here with the pen. We have a multiplication facts fun pad. It's just nice and easy, fun stuff. They tear out, so you're literally getting lighter by the page. And of course, an A4 clipboard. So when we're in the car, we all know how fun it can be trying to balance workbooks on the car. You can click down the page that she's working on, and particularly in our case that travel in 2 vehicles, Miss B and I can get a lot of work done while we're travelling somewhere. So she'll clip it into that, and then I can be assisting while I'm driving. She can ask me any areas that she's having trouble with. We can go over things. We tend to have a lot more fun learning that way, because we can run through our times tables, we can run through distances between towns, talk about, you know, how many not miles, beg my pardon, meters in a kilometre, you know, start talking about distances that we're travelling, the climates we're going through, what temperature's the air conditioning on, what temperature we've got outside. You know, there's lots of learning that actually can take place on the road with you that don't involve the workbook. But yep, that's what we take everywhere. So all of that fits into the good old trusty Lego box. All nicely in there. Now, if you've got a couple of kids, that will fit in there perfectly. When we go in the car, I generally will just slip that in there too, just so it all stays together. The other thing I did is, out of most community-based magazines that get thrown in your letterbox every quarter, I cut out the school holidays, good to avoid busy camping spots in those times, the calendar, just so we can keep abreast of that, and also whacked in a mini times table, which I carry with me overseas, and the standard maps. I took them out of the back of a old diary that I had, and all of that fits into an A5, which is really handy, especially when we're overseas. So I've got the monkey times tables, scholastic sheet that they print out, got all her angles, 3D shapes, shape patterns, whoever can remember the difference between a parallelogram, a rhombus, all at her fingertips. She can grab it. Times tables, can't do them enough. We do them when we're walking down the hiking trails. We do them when we're driving in the car. We do them when we're shopping. You know, whack in as much on-the-go learning that you possibly can. This will help them with their other subjects. So the travel journal, anyone, this is actually an Australian company, another family, and we love supporting Australians. So we actually have a link for these guys on our blog, which is just www.cakeandeat3.com. And fantastic travel journal. I won't embarrass Brianne by showing you a page that's written in it, but she can colour in the date, write a story, either take a photo and stick it there, or draw a picture herself, which is another one of Brianne's favourite things, drawing. So a really great travel journal. Check it out. Good to support Australian families. So pretty much what I'm saying is, we didn't need any of this. You will Google. You will. I did actually print out a couple of resources before leaving and bind them. So these are just quick division sheets, addition sheets. She can just fold them back, stick them in her clipboard, and be doing them in the car. So it's just good to keep the momentum going. Drawing, as I said, another one. She has a couple of drawing books that she does use. Probably the best thing I can tell you is, based on topic learning, you will get a lot more out of them. So whatever you're visiting, we've also got an educational visit state by state on our blog. You know, these sorts of things have experiences or educational visits that they can do it by the state that you might be visiting, and you'll get much more learning and knowledge sunk in by doing that. So I'll just take you back and I'll show you the blog. Just a minute. Okay, so I've mentioned that we have a lot of resources stored on our blog. Now, originally this was just for us. We spent so long getting it ready that we stored it here so we didn't have to waste data while we're on the road trying to find the resources to back up the lessons that we were doing. So this is the blog, cakeandeat3.com. It's under Kids Corner and Education. And the one that I'm referring to is the educational websites and resources. So I've tried to put them into sections or subject headings. So we've got our maths websites, and I've just listed them all out. Various age groups, reading, writing, literacy, all out. Science. So basically what this means is when we're on the road, we can actually log into our own site, go to the subject that we're trying to enhance, and be able to find relevant topics or relevant. There's also the full educational curriculums in there as well, but really we use it while we're traveling to go straight to the part we need, and straight in to the exact worksheet or reinforcement that we're after. Now, we have such a diversified following, so we're talking world schoolers, homeschoolers, unschoolers, friends, family. Now, the types of things that we try to put up are travel related because we're permanently traveling, but we also do and use products that everybody uses at home too. So if there's something in particular that you want us to discuss about while we're on the road, drop me a line. We're going to try and do more video this year because I think people get a lot more out of the video than what they do constant blogging and posting on Facebook. So do give us a follow on Facebook to keep up to date with where we're at. YouTube, we're just getting started, a lot to learn. We're not professionals by any stretch of the imagination, but we love to have fun, we love adventure, and we're realistic. So everything we do, we're normally trying to be frugal about it or do it in the most cost-effective way, like most families that we know. And we'd love for you to be on our adventure with us and drop us a line and say g'day. Thanks a lot, guys. All the best.